Reporting live in Tacoma, Molly Shen, Como 4 News.
As a veteran crime reporter, Molly Shen thought she'd seen everything. Until June 4th, 2007.
It started off as a typical day. Then the call came. We needed to stop everything that we were doing and get down to Puyallup.
Molly soon found herself on the scene in Puyallup, a small, sleepy town 30 miles south of Seattle. A construction worker had discovered something unusual while leveling a house on a secluded street called Canyon Road.
He was out there digging up the land and scooped something up, and instead of just dirt and rock, he saw what looked like a bag or something there. So he got out of the excavator, went over to check it out. And opened it up and saw bones. It was human bones. No one expects to find something like that, and I'd say he was pretty freaked out, and so he got out of there and called 911.
After talking to the stunned construction worker, Molly had what she needed to begin reporting on the gruesome discovery.
For decades, there was a single house on this property. For decades, there was a gruesome secret buried between the house and garage.
Homicide detective Ben Benson set upon the grisly task of examining the remains.
The bones have definitely appeared to be in the ground for a long period of time. There was no flesh. The body had completely decomposed, and there was nothing left but some remnants of some clothes and dirt.
We could see a vertebrae inside the bag, as well as a pelvis, a shoulder bone, and some other bones that clearly it was a human bones as opposed to an animal.
You just immediately started to wonder, who was it? How long have those remains been there? How long has that body been there?
As details about the unearthed bag of bones seeped into this quiet suburban neighborhood, rattled community members began gathering at the property wanting to know, who was the victim found buried in the backyard? Could it be someone they knew?
It was a spectacle for that neighborhood. Everybody was coming by asking, what's going on? What's happening back here? Why are there so many police cars here? We also had a number of people stop by desperate for information about other missing people.
Can't give up hope that my dad's body's gonna be found. And I know a lot of other people are missing people too, but I still have the hope that it's him.
That was sort of surreal too, just knowing that there were people in the area who were missing loved ones and almost had this, sort of awful hope that it was the person they knew and loved because that person was missing.
At this point, this is a who is it, not a who done it. You know, we'll figure that out later, but right now we want to figure out who this is.
A forensic team began the painstaking task of searching the yard for additional bones. After 9 hours of digging, 51 were located, all belonging to the same individual.
When the forensic anthropologist laid the bones out, she told us that the bones were from a male, and she was able to determine that it was someone in their mid-50s.
Because no flesh remained on the bones, cause of death couldn't be accurately determined, but all signs pointed to homicide.
The body had been dismembered. She could see that there were clean cuts across the bone, and that a chainsaw was used to cut up the body.
The shoulder had been cut in two with approximately a 1/4-inch blade, which again was consistent with a chainsaw.
It was pretty horrifying to realize what had happened there. The more you learned, the more sickening it became.
For investigators, this brutally challenging case was about to get even more difficult.
The forensic anthropologist was able to determine that based on the condition of the bones, that they were buried for about 30 years.